There is a weapon in Norse mythology so powerful that when it was thrown, thunder shook the entire universe. So enchanted that not even the king of the gods could lift it. And so legendary that its symbol is still worn by millions of people today. This is the real story of Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and the secret nobody tells you. Before we talk about the hammer, we need to talk about Thor, son of Odin, the Allfather, god of thunder, strength, and storms. Thor was the protector of both gods and humans. Massive in size, legendary in battle, and fiercely loyal. He was the avenger of the Norse world long before Marvel made it cool. The story of Mjolnir begins with the greatest prank in Norse history. Loki, the trickster god, snuck into Thor's bedroom while his wife Sif was sleeping and cut off all her golden hair. Thor was furious. Loki, terrified of punishment, made a deal he would travel to Svartalfheim, the realm of the dwarves, and get Sif's hair replaced with real gold. But Loki being Loki, he couldn't resist adding a little chaos to the mission. Loki visited the dwarf brothers Ivaldi first, who crafted 3 legendary gifts for the gods. Golden hair for Sif, the ship Skidbladnir that could sail any sea and fold up like a cloth, and the spear Gungnir, which would become Odin's weapon. But Loki wasn't done. He made a bet with 2 other dwarf brothers, Sindri and Brokkr. He bet his own head that they couldn't make 3 gifts better than Ivaldi's. Sindri and Brokkr began their masterwork, forging a weapon so powerful it would change everything. But Loki panicked. If they succeeded, he would lose his head. So he transformed into a fly and attacked. First, he bit Brokkr on the hand. Brokkr ignored it. Then on the neck, still ignored. Then right between the eyes, Brokkr flinched for just 1 second. The hammer came out with a handle too short. Not enough to disqualify it, but just enough to be imperfect. The gods judged all 6 gifts. Ivaldi's creations were magnificent, but when Mjolnir was presented, the gods declared it the greatest gift of all. Despite the short handle, its power was unmatched. Brokkr demanded Loki's head as payment, but Loki had one final trick. You can have my head, but you cannot touch my neck. The gods laughed. Brokkr settled for sewing Loki's lips shut instead. Odin took Mjolnir and placed the most powerful enchantment ever spoken on it. Whosoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. This single sentence changed everything. It wasn't about strength. It wasn't about bloodline. It was about worthiness, character, soul, intent. This made Mjolnir the most unique weapon in all mythology. Mjolnir had powers beyond any weapon in mythology. It always returned to Thor's hand after being thrown no matter how far. It could shrink small enough to fit in a pocket. It called thunder and lightning from the sky. It blessed marriages and newborns with divine protection. And it was the primary weapon used against the giants, the greatest threats to both gods and humans. Mjolnir was not just a weapon. It was a symbol of the cycle of life and death. The Norse used Mjolnir in both birth ceremonies and funeral rites. The same hammer that destroyed giants also welcomed new life and honored the dead. It represented the complete circle of existence, creation and destruction, in one weapon. The most dramatic Mjolnir story? When the giant Thrym stole it while Thor slept. Thrym demanded the goddess Freya as his wife in exchange. Freya refused furiously. So the gods came up with a plan so ridiculous, Thor had to dress as a bride. The mightiest warrior in Norse mythology in a wedding dress walked into a giant's hall to get his hammer back. But what truly made Thor worthy of Mjolnir? Not his strength. Other gods were strong, not his power. Odin was more powerful. It was his unwavering commitment to protecting others. Every battle Thor fought, he fought for humans, for gods, for the innocent. His worthiness came from selfless courage. The hammer didn't choose the strongest. It chose the most dedicated protector. Today, Mjolnir remains one of the most recognized symbols in human history. Millions wear it as jewelry. Marvel turned it into a global icon. But the original Norse meaning goes far deeper, a symbol of protection. Now you know the real story of Mjolnir. Who should we cover next, Odin who enchanted it, or Loki who sabotaged it? Drop your vote in the comments.